So now that we have had this huge bust up in the Reform Party, where does Rupert Lowe go now? What are his options? So I don't think there's any way back for Rupert Lowe. I mean, looking at the situation realistically with what's happened, I just don't think that there's a way back for him. And Richard Tice pretty much confirmed this in an interview with Camilla Tomney on GB News. The stance is pretty clear. There's no way back as a member of the party. So what does Rupert Lowe do? Does he, obviously he's going to be an independent until the next election. He's had a couple of offers. He's had an offer of, excuse me, I'm laughing and the camera's shaking. He's had an offer from the Conservatives, and that is interesting. He used to be a Conservative many years ago. The Conservatives are just desperate to get anybody, and obviously he has a seat. For them, him having a seat is all that really matters. I'm not entirely sure if they think that their policies are aligned, but maybe it's coming a bit more from the more right-wing Tories. He then had a really interesting offer from UKIP, which I don't think that, much as I like, and his name escapes me, it's Nick Tanconi, isn't it? The leader of UKIP. He has got a certain style, it's not for everybody. And I think that they're such a small party, and I think that their history really sort of drags them down a little bit. I think the weight of their name and the history doesn't kind of ring true for a lot of people. So I'm not sure that would be a viable option. What else is there? So could he form this kind of new party? You know, the rumour about Musk. Well, there's always rumours where that Musk is concerned about him funding the party. Would that be a viable option? As I've kind of said before, it's possible. There's a broad range of talent out there that have got the sort of small c conservative mindset that want to kind of promote a sort of more British kind of values and Britain first kind of look at things. That is one possibility. He is in it to help change the country. He's not really in it for financial gain. But he's a character that, whilst I knew about Rupert Lowe, I've seen some interviews with him, and he is a stubborn old guy. I like what he says. He does come across as a little bit stubborn in his ways and how he presents himself. If there was to be a splinter group, who actually would front that splinter group? As much as they have great ideas, I'm not sure that Ben Habib or Rupert Lowe are the guys to do that. I think maybe a little bit more fresh blood, someone a bit younger. There are some good people in Reform. There's some good people across all the parties, to be fair. I mean, even the Labour Party. There are good people in most of the parties. Could you prize away maybe one of those? Could you just use someone who's got potential that hasn't been in the game or has come out of the game? That's another option. You could do that. It's going to be interesting to see. This whole saga has kind of played out, and it's really affected. I feel really bad for people that have, especially the people that pay good money to join Reform, and they're kind of seeing that it's not a democratic party, whichever way you cut it. I mean, I'm sorry, but when you've got two people that in Company's House, the Zia Youssef and Nigel Farage, they own the party. Nigel Farage is not a democratically elected leader. He was just parachuted in. So, you know, despite the protestations, it's nonsense. It's not really a democratic party. So then do these guys go off and make another party? Dark horse, like an outside thing, could they possibly jump over to Reclaim? Now, Reclaim, a little bit of an unknown entity. I mean, they have Lawrence Fox, but the only reason that he has kind of a thing was the whole Question Time appearance and the fact that he was an actor. I don't really know a great deal about those guys, apart from they got a massive donation from someone that was, I believe, a Tory donor. So what are the options? Jump in with Reclaim and bolster Reclaim and try to get more donors that way? I mean, for starters, all the great party names are gone, aren't they? Let's face it. I mean, you know, Reform and Reclaim and goodness knows whatever else. It'd be really difficult to come up with an actual party. I mean, a party that I quite like the policies of are the Social Democratic Party, but they've got issues in terms of the name, for example. I mean, nobody knows them. The guy Williams Closton, I think, I can't pronounce his name, whatever it is. He seems like a really nice guy, but again, a bit long in the tooth. The policies seem to be decent in a lot of ways, but nobody knows them. Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to know what to do for those guys. There's a lot of possibilities and a lot of variables. So yeah, we will continue and see what the story leads us.